June 16th, 2008. This is Diehard Gamer Radio, episode 49.
Is it really?
Is this 49?
Yes, this is
48.
BS.
48 was posted 2 weeks ago, Steve.
You are approaching the target of attack. Your mission starts now. Are you ready? The countdown begins. 3, 2, 1, go!
You are listening to Diehard Gamer Radio, the source for off-mainstream video game news and topics. And now, your hosts, Murdock, Brian, John, and Steve.
Just a couple more shots.
Where were you?
Once again, I tell you, I don't remember anything about a podcast after.
All right, well,
It must be really bad cold. Yeah.
you were kind of out of it.
Well, no, I wasn't.
podcast?
I wasn't sick that day. I didn't get sick till Wednesday.
Well, but it's just obviously causing memory loss.
Well, that could be it.
What did you get
Are
sick?
you sure you weren't sick
What's
until
a
that
flu
day?
or something? I think it was the flu that you're supposed to get in like January, but I never did.
I don't think
so-
flu is really time-inducive.
I don't know. Well, you'd think if you were going to get it, you would get it like, when everybody else was getting it, not
that
6
strain
months later.
goes around. It goes around all year round. I mean,
I know, but
it
you would
just
think
happened
that.
to bump back into Colorado
Well, yeah,
at some point.
Yeah, it was hanging out in the alley, and I walked by, and it just beat me over the head with
And it took your wallet.
Hey, man, give me your immune system.
a viral truncheon.
Viral what?
A viral truncheon.
Truncheon.
Yes.
That's the
That's like
Reader's
a-
Digest word.
Like a
of the day
viral
right
curmudgeon.
there.
Yes.
Some
that,
old,
that would be some
guy.
old guy.
Some old guy.
Some old dude giving you a viral. Where's the paper boy?
It's a 4chan
Where's
thread.
the paper boy?
All right.
I like the one where Brian's running around trying to get the gay marriage thing signed, and he goes up to that guy and says, "You get off my lawn, you pervert!"
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back to Die Hard Gamer Radio.
We're missing the paper boy.
Yes, Paperboy, the
That's okay.
Atari
I'll be
game.
on the WiiWare soon.
Well, hey, you have the Wiimote, so I guess you can ride the bike like I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should stop right there. That's gross.
Yeah.
That's not a bike you're riding.
Yeah.
No, that's the Shota simulator from the Wii.
Cough it up.
Damien, that joke was dedicated to you. Anyway, I have.
But wouldn't it have to be like an elk Shota now or something?
I learned something interesting today. Apparently, only one of all of Damien's furry friends have a fursuit, so I don't think they're actually furries.
It doesn't make them sound like furries.
No,
They could be.
And if
They could be
you know what they
sharing
actually
one.
are? No, they're not actually furries. I figured out what furries are without fursuits are just neo-pagans.
Maybe they're just fur sympathizers.
Maybe they are. They are.
Maybe if
They're
Damien doesn't
fur
like it,
collaborators.
maybe if Damien doesn't like it, his friend Oryx will take it. Yeah.
In the poopa.
But
On his steak.
All right. We apologize.
spicy jalapeno.
We apologize for the last. I must apologize for the last 3 minutes of this podcast.
That's a pair of spiced meatballs.
Okay.
And a long kielbasa.
All right. So we have
Beef stroganoff.
we have
Stroke him if you got him.
we have Brian Jones. We have Steve Walsh, and we have John,
The
the
Joint
real
Chiefs of
deal
Staff.
Krukov.
Back after long absence.
Yeah, what was going on with you?
Well,
Missed 2 podcasts in a row. I had to dock your pay.
Is that 2 podcasts in a row? I thought it
And
was
now
only
I'll
one.
never get out of debt with the company store.
oh, my soul of the company's no.
It's really quite tragic.
No, you were actually doing
Life.
stuff.
It intruded.
Oh,
Stop living, man. Stop living.
Kill your parents
in
in
front
the
of you.
game of life.
It's getting in the way of your podcasting.
Not tonight, honey. I'm podcasting. All right, so let's.
Oh no, my puppy had lots of little babies. Euthanasia.
Are those small kids in like an
Sounds like
Asian
a folk
country
song somewhere
euthanasia?
just
That was,
Sprouting out of the
that was a
ground.
robot chicken thing.
Oh,
It was a game
okay.
like, it was called Euthanasia, where they basically have a big pot in the middle of the board where you get too many pets and you just toss them in the board in the pot called Euthanasia.
I was just talking about kids in it.
Coming soon to Xbox Live Arcade, all right?
Youth and age makes you kill your pets.
And if we get that, it might open up for WiiWare to do Don't Whiz on the Electric Fence.
Don't wheeze on the electric.
Don't whiz on the electric fence.
Then we can the log
By
game
Hasbro.
after that.
Vlog from Blammo.
Yes.
Any more songs you want to throw into this before we start?
Slug, it's big, it's heavy, it's wood.
Yes, wood.
Slug, it's better than the bed, it's good.
Spam bee, as much fun as any ham can be. Or is it meat?
What?
Yeah, I think it was meat can be.
You're on your own on that one.
Yeah. That was an HBO special.
Okay. And John remains silent, which seems to be the smartest thing right now.
And now for something completely different?
Yes.
No, we just said
Get
all
on
the
with
songs
it!
new.
Yes. So, first news, Tenchu 4 announced. Woo! For the Wii.
Is it a Wii exclusive?
Yeah, apparently.
actually,
yes, it
What?
is.
You know, it
So
actually
do you
doesn't
have
look
to
that
move
bad.
the Wiimote very slowly so you don't get
Yes.
seen?
It's going to be a source of all sorts of repetitive
I
stress
watched the guy
injuries.
playing it. It's got a weird control, but it actually looks pretty cool. Cause
You have to take the Wiimote and you have to hide it behind something.
Yeah.
No, you use the Wiimote and the nunchuck, and each one represents a hand, so you do motions with each, and you can still use your sword.
Each one
and-
represents a foot, you mean. It's just like this. You sneak by moving each hand
Well,
a
you move
little
both forward or
bit.
backward in the sense of movement, forward movement, and
They do
reverse
just
movement.
make you
But it looks
step
pretty
with each
cool.
one.
I gotta say, I'm
one
kind of
is
excited
so
about it. I think the way watching the guy play it, it actually looked kind of interesting.
I just don't understand why just for the Wii.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
No.
No. But
I don't think the last two versions of it made that much money.
Then again, honestly,
I
it didn't
think
make a
maybe
lot of
they're
sense
kind
to
of
me for
throwing all their
them to
chips
do
into
number
one
2
pot
just for the,
and kind of hoping that this is going to make a difference.
Metal Gear Solid 4 just for the PS3. That didn't make any sense for me either. So.
well, that's
Yeah.
because it's.
Yes, I know, can't fit on normal DVDs, but come on.
Well,
seriously.
and also because they're really trying to do the best game possible on the system and just didn't want to do any compromises.
Yeah, I don't buy that at
if
all.
you-
No.
They tried to do the most FMV for the system, maybe.
Yeah,
It isn't
speaking
an
of.
FMV, but
Or just
the
download
most
ever?
cutscenes
Yeah.
per game ever.
Yeah, speaking of which, Metal Gear Solid 4 gets a perfect 40 out of 40 in
They
Famitsu.
really like their cutscenes, apparently.
Yeah, so the first 40 is for the amount of time and minutes it takes for the initial installation, and the other 40 is the total amount of cutscenes in hours.
Yes.
I
So-
understand it's actually only about 20 hours of a 40 hour.
Oh, jeez.
That's awesome.
Oh, well, they cut back.
What's the other 20 hours load time?
Actual playing, apparently.
Well,
Wow.
sneaking and hiding
Yes.
in boxes.
Oh. They'll never catch me in this moving box with the
I'm
feet under it.
told very strangely enough that if you, instead of sneaking past soldiers, you just kill them. Eventually, if you kill them fast enough, Snake throws up.
What?
Yes.
He gets nauseous from
He
all
gets
the killing.
nauseous from all the killing.
They had a signing in New York. I saw one of the Kotaku staff took a friend of his there, and his friend brought a pack of Marlboros for Kojima to sign, which apparently cracked him up quite a bit.
What's her name? One of the folks on Aura actually was there for that signing and gave him a painting which he apparently did not dislike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
What was the content of it?
I'm sure it was Snack.
Huh.
Was he
some point.
naked?
Did he have
I don't
pants on?
think he was talking. I'm sure the original version of the thing did not include pants.
it was Raiden Yaoi.
Yeah,
It
I'm
might have
sure.
gotten cropped down before
I
they
mean, I
presented
think this
writing
is probably
something
one of
before
the
that,
only
but-
war adventure games that has like 90% of the following is female.
Yeah, that's.
It's kind of strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Or
just can't see that
hot?
being half as badass as like Assassin's Creed, where you kill enough people that the other guys start vomiting.
Yeah, I love that. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And what is Snake vomiting? He doesn't eat anything in this
He
game.
eats snakes.
Well,
I don't know what he eats in this game.
You are what you eat.
Maybe it's
I-
everything you ate in Metal Gear Solid 3.
I would require a PS3 in order to play it, and that's just not.
No,
gonna
he's
happen.
still throwing up because of Snake. He's still throwing up from Metal Gear Solid 2. He's such a piece of.
still can't get over it, huh?
Ugh.
All right, so next up, we have a bunch of JRPGs coming out on the Xbox 360, which will excite no one.
How the hell did this
Let's
even
just like
happen?
skip this article because that's like pointless.
Well, it's just like how does Microsoft manage to pay them enough money to come out with games that
They're
they can't
desperate.
sell in Japan?
Wait, are these coming out over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've sold, half a dozen 360s in Japan. I mean, it's not their target
I
market.
could see if they were going for that market over there. Yeah,
I saw
they
the
put
pie chart for
JRPGs,
last
but
year.
for
They
us?
sold 1,500 360s in Japan last week. 1,500.
Wow.
I mean, it's 3 times better than the Xbox ever did.
It did.
I
but-
still want to get somebody to
Even
buy me
so.
one over there at a discount price because it's almost more worth the damn Japanese one.
I saw the trailer for Last Remnant, and I have no idea what it's about.
Well, my favorite title.
What was the last Remnant? You had to get all the prior Remnants to understand.
Okay. No, my favorite title in here so far is Infinite Undiscovery, which
that makes
no
absolutely nothing
sense.
I think
What's it about? We have no clue.
I think I was going to download a trailer for that, but I decided better of it.
Well,
the grammar Nazi came along and stopped you.
Yeah. Seriously, the Last Remnant trailer is about 2.5 minutes long, and I have no idea what it's about.
It's a Square game, that's why.
Well, I know. I saw that. I'm like, oh, that explains it.
Well, there's it's kind of shiny. It's kind of
the voice acting's not awful.
Well,
it's not good, but it's not awful.
Well, hopefully what they're doing it for this way, they ought to be getting, U.S. voice actors to do it originally, and maybe they translate it back into Japanese.
Infinite Undiscovery, that means they'll never figure it out? Or they'll never find it? What?
They'll never find it for the rest of eternity.
Yeah, what does it translate to?
It translates to, this sounds really cool, let's make it into a video game. They make video games like Metalocalypse or like Deathlock makes song titles.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, if all these games come out on the 360, the 360 will have a broader JRPG library than the PS3 will. Or the Wii.
Well, nobody's buying the PS3 anyway, so
Japan
somebody
is,
might as well
Europe
put it
is.
out.
Yeah.
So
that's just because they're not putting JRPGs out in Europe.
They're just going for the weeaboo crowd is what they're doing here. It's a concerted effort on the part of Microsoft, deep within the bowels of Microsoft.
Didn't we actually
the weeaboo marketing
the
campaign
360 over here too, or get the widest install base now?
I think the Xbox 360 still outnumbers the Wii.
I swear I read on
I don't think
Kotaku
they're
or
close.
somewhere.
I mean, they were coming up on it, and I don't think they've actually passed it yet. Maybe by the time this airs, they will have. Hard to say.
Yeah, I think with the Wii Fit, it put them pretty close to it, or even over the top, because that game's gotten so popular.
That thing is sold out everywhere, and I still don't understand why.
I read that one guy at a company they got a stipend.
The Playboy video that illustrated?
Oh yeah, he got a
How many times did you watch it, Brian?
He got a stipend from his company that says we'll give you $150 to get in shape from go to whatever club or whatever you want to do fitness wise to buy. He got them to approve a Wii Fit. So they gave him the money so he could buy the Wii Fit and go home and work out. So, I mean, that's how popular it's gotten. People are using their government health bonuses,
preventative health care,
Yeah, I don't see a reason to buy it. But I did like the glass girl, the glasses, the librarian girl that was doing it. That was rather hilarious. Playing whatever the hula hoop game was on there.
Yeah,
I saw this.
I can't see that she didn't know what was going on, though, because dude set up the camera on a fucking tripod.
Yeah.
Well, it was weird because he had it on the table, and then he spun it around, looked at her, then he spun it around, looked back at him, and she never saw it. I mean, I can kind of understand she didn't know what he was doing, but...
Maybe he was holding the camera while he was actually on a Wii Fit board.
She actually said on there that she didn't know what he was doing, and then she's like, what the hell? And she got all pissed, and then after she got, 200,000 hits
4 million
on,
views, I think it was.
It was some huge number
I
on
think it was
MySpace,
4
and then
million.
she's like, well, I guess it's not so bad to be famous. Be in my underwear playing a game.
Although, on the other hand, I mean, they are both marketing people. So, I mean, you just can't trust a word either of them say.
How viral is this? Well,
It doesn't matter if they were working for somebody or not. They're still marketing people.
All right. So next up,
and Nintendo disavowed everything.
well, of course.
Yeah.
So next up, Limbo of the Lost allegedly borrows from Oblivion.
Yeah, man! Limbo of the Lost.
That's kind
I
of fun.
saw
It
the
looks like
screenshots.
that.
It's like, which one is which game? Let's take a look.
Well, apparently the metagame fun with Limbo of the Lost is going through it and trying to figure out where they plagiarized all of their backgrounds from.
That isn't the...
What the hell is Limbo of the Lost?
It was a very obscure, low-budget PC adventure game.
Really?
They came out from 3 blokes,
Really?
literally, who decided they wanted to make a game.
Really?
And basically all of their backgrounds are screen grabs from other games.
So,
And not even trying to hide it. It just Stole from Oblivion, from Thief, from Unreal 3, all over the damn place.
So they basically took Oblivion and slapped another game title on it and sold it.
Well, they took screen captures of it because they're using it as a background for their point-and-click adventure game.
Oh, dear God.
So they made Myst, basically.
So you're saying they were oblivious?
Well, they were hoping you would be.
And they didn't think that anyone would notice.
Apparently not, which is the hilarious bit. I mean, that takes huge balls. Not only did they steal from, like, just one game.
Or stupidity.
No. I mean, they stole from blockbuster titles from, like, the last decade and sprinkled them through there. So if you played anything in the last 10 years...
Wait a minute.
Familiar!
Even better, the game comes with a DVD that has the intro movie for it, which includes scenes lifted from the Spawn movie and Pirates in the Caribbean.
That's
God,
excellent.
what? Why make a game when you can just make it from parts of other things?
Ironically, they'll never get sued by the MPAA because the MPAA is too busy suing people that don't actually make any money off of it.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be making any money
They
off
only
of this
sue on
one.
principle.
Oh, yeah. It's very principled.
Because I don't think that first royalty check's going to come through now.
Yeah.
But their Metacritic score.
Falling.
Can you rescind your Metacritic score? Is that possible?
I don't know that there's any
Metaphysically
actual submission
speaking, yes.
process other than you post a review on a website. Metacritic decides to
It
include it.
scrapes it.
So, next up, it is time for a good old-fashioned game burning.
What are we burning now?
More games.
Games. The Reverend Richard Patrick of Virginia's Abyssinia Baptist Church wants to organize a ritual burning of destructive games, reports the Daily Press. The 42-year-old who has worked in the church for the past 6 years believes that violent games and hate-filled gangster rap music are turning killing into a pastime for bored kids.
You know what
So
I
it just needs to expand out to movies. They can just burn all discs.
Yeah, and then they can inhale that toxic plastic from the fumes.
No, they should burn all the copies of Left Behind that are sitting in, GameStop.
Did you see how many of those were in the bargain bin?
There's
They all got left behind.
The Abyssinia Baptist Church, huh? Sounds like he's running a church out of a John Carpenter novel.
No, it denotes a church where.
Yeah, it's the Blockbuster of the Damned.
It really is. It's that church in the mouth of madness.
No, it's the church where Colonel Blake died.
Oh,
Wow,
Abyssinia?
MASH
when you
reference.
look into the Abyssinia looks into you.
This is like,
Brian.
Back through you, yes.
Yeah, the
having
Abyssinia is
flash-
the name of the episode where he dies.
yeah, I'm having flashbacks of Phantasm.
Oh, you mean that console that hasn't come out yet?
Yes.
Right.
that
I was
one.
thinking of a little metal ball and dudes on a.
You know they're making a last
planet.
one of those.
Why?
They're making
That's part
they
6?
want to end the story.
Dude,
I'm
it ended like 6 stories ago.
I know.
It didn't really go on. You could cut it the first one.
They
and
need
you're
to have
fine.
resolution for the tall man.
Resolution. What, like 1080 IP or
I
what?
don't know.
1080 IP.
It's the new
1080p,
TV
yeah.
over IP.
Yeah, TV over
I
IP.
slash P. Yeah.
Also known as Slingbox.
Yeah. You can watch it on your PS3
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
via your PSP. Yeah.
So,
Vice versa.
yeah, so, John, you gave me this news. Apparently it's to, I guess, build up some froth against religious types doing stupid things again? or-
Froth.
What is he making, a chai?
Are we making some sort of coffee drink or perhaps pouring some beer?
Well, it's an insert credit type word. It's,
Froth.
kind of a upper class video games journalism type.
There's
Might just,
classes
fall,
of video
not
game
froth.
journalism.
Apparently, yes.
The bourgeois video game journalism versus the
Too damn bougie,
proletariat.
boy.
The proletariat video gaming news is not of sufficient class to satisfy my cultured video gaming tastes.
Let them eat
Who does that make us? Like the beret-wearing people who think our genres are better than yours?
Your cheese sucks!
No, we're the scrappy independents.
No, what were you saying,
Still,
John,
the-
about this
the,
topic, or
colonists
is it just
that,
that? Just thought it was interesting.
Just another bit of, video games are ruining our kids' lives just like movies did before and rock and roll before
And
that.
comic books
yes.
and-
We're just
And premarital sex.
we're pretty much the choice of the decade, except this is what like the second or third decade we've been that choice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
And the light bulb.
Yeah, the light bulb was,
Well, it contributes to immorality and decadence. I
Yeah,
mean, you
it
don't
does.
get
Yeah,
up with the
because now you
sun
can
and go
see
out
it.
and plow those fields.
not to
No,
mention you put the candle maker out of business.
now you stay up late reading. I mean,
You're destroying our community. Not to mention you break them, they go all over the place. And
okay.
it's okay. Finally, our government has acted. To remove the scourge of incandescent light bulbs.
thank God for taxes.
Are you done?
They're just gonna
Vote
set up-
Republican.
They're just gonna set up a nuke every 5 years, and the whole country will glow for 5 years. And it won't matter.
Who needs balls? Just like your sister.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new tritium replacement bulbs.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna get to that point where we just install LEDs in our fingertips.
That'd be pretty awesome.
That would be
Maxwell
cool.
Smart.
Except,
in a nutshell.
I think then though maybe if we put like the LED in our fingertips, we'd have to replace all our guns with flashlights.
It would be a downside.
What's up,
And then how would we defend ourselves from the terrorists?
Yeah,
That was a long way to go for
Well,
a
the terrorists
joke,
would
Steve.
also
Yeah.
their terrorists would also get their guns replaced with flashlights. And there's more of us than them, so it'd just be a big old beatdown at that point.
lights out.
We just need bigger, heavier flashlights.
Well, we'd all have bag lights, basically. We just, it'd be like 400 million people beating about 300 or so it'd be over pretty quick, and then we'd just start beating each other.
Are you
Go
done?
back to Civil Wars.
Okay. All right, Steve.
Good old white people killing white people.
Go for the South. Oh,
Can you
Not the
vote for
Civil
South?
War, it's the War of Northern Aggression. Get it right.
How do you vote for the South? Do they have a ballot where you
With
just
a-
vote for the South?
with a flashlight finger.
It's it's a big ballot. It's just got a big one box that says the South.
South.
So you can check it or not.
Well, maybe they have a
It's yes
flag.
or no.
But nobody trusts the paper voting system
Yeah.
anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Paper's fine.
Paper voting irrelevant.
All
Dude,
those
that
in
was
favor,
coming back to haunt you, didn't you?
all those in
John?
favor of the South, raise your hand.
All right. Okay. All right. So next up, we have leeks galore.
Yeah,
Apparently-
they're great vegetables.
They're pretty tasty. Yeah, really
It's
enjoy
like a
them.
giant freaking radish.
With a little cheese.
Or, no, it's a green onion.
Can you leeks with cheese?
Bit of a little bit of a dill dip, perhaps.
No.
Is that oregano? No.
Dillweed.
You done, Steve? Or do you have
Nope.
more recipes to share with the audience?
Nope, not done.
Okay. All right. So
I'll be here all night.
just going over some of these here. The one that was kind of weird was this Xbox Live Avatar thing. I was looking at, I guess, their own Me system of some kind. I mean,
That doesn't
what the
seem
hell?
like that would take like a whole lot more to do. I mean, it
wouldn't
could be a lot
Just
like
going to have a bunch of guys that look like penises.
They really already have an avatar set up. They're just going to make it a little more holy.
They should combine
you know?
they should combine the Spore creature creator with the Xbox Live Avatars.
Avatar.
Man, the leak of that or whatever they got on the 4chan B mobs have gotten a hold of that, and the unholy abominations that have been posted to be.
Did you see on Kotaku the fruit fucker spore creation?
I didn't see that one.
That
I
was
just
right.
saw
It
the
was
bug
kind
kit.
of disgusting looking.
Yeah, it was like every man's worst dream. It's like that thing you have where it comes in and takes your dick off, and yeah, it's like
Vagina dentata is
it's like
the word we're looking
subconsciously
for.
eliminating your
Yes.
manhood or something.
Every time I go to B now, at least once an hour, there's a post of somebody's creature creator of just a giant floating wang That's all it is. It's just a big wang.
My wang will conquer your planet.
And then followed by a mudkip and a slowpoke, and
So
soon to be followed
there-
by
there-
a llama slug.
Desu.
so there's your avatar system for Xbox Live right there.
Creature creator.
I was thinking it could probably be a lot like the EVE Online face creator that they do. Because if they make like a 3D thing and they just
Probably see it about as
snap
often,
a
too.
headshot of it,
Well, from
and
the
use that
from
for
the
the backwards
screen,
compatibility.
from the screenshot that I saw, and screenshot in quotes, I mean, it looked like Mii's. I mean, basically,
They did. They kind of look like
They were a
Sims.
little more detailed, but basically, yeah. It's like a halfway
it's not
between a
it's
Sim
not hard
and
to
a
be
Mii.
more detailed than a Mii. It's got arms. It's more detailed.
It's like one of the Weebles.
And feet.
It's a digital Weeble.
Weebelows wobble.
The Weebles,
Weeaboos.
Weeaboos wobble, but they don't fall down.
You haven't seen me bowl.
So that's what they should call them. They should call them Weeaboos. That'd be awesome.
Oh, like Weebelows?
No, they should call them Weeaboos. I bet you they could get it past their marketing folks. Their marketing
I think it
folks
should be
probably don't know what
Weeabolos.
Weeaboos are. They're like, Weeaboos, it's really cute sounding, and people will like it. And then they'd get out, and they'd be like, lol.
And I mean, it seems like Home's been, they've been working on it and trying to bring it out. This seems like exactly the kind of hypothetical thing they could bring out to
So
try
no
and
furries
steal
on
a
this
lot
one
of
either.
thunder for it.
Yeah.
No, actually, they did in one of the little avatars. The guy on the right was in some sort of rat suit. So that's
Hitting
very
all the
genius.
target markets.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he still has a little face surrounded by this big like Disney reject suit.
Oh, no, the Narc Man.
The other things that have been leaked. There's just going over quickly. Some I guess Guitar Hero World Tour new guitar control revealed and priced.
And it also sounded like it had an interesting new feature that I hadn't heard, that it was going to have the touch-sensitive fretboard for doing solos.
This might explain why all the PS3 Rock Band sets just went on sale for $99. I'm talking the $160
The PS3 one,
sets.
not the PS2 ones? Because I know the PS2 ones went on sale for $100.
Oh, no, you're right. PS2, my bad.
Yeah,
but it kind of wonders why they're blowing stock off. Apparently, that's the one that's not selling the best. But obviously.
other things on here: a game show channel for Xbox Live, which
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's a good venue for it because they already ship movies and TV shows.
I mean, if you ever wanted to get the hypothetical casual gamer to play, you can't do any better.
They're just
going to
show like old episodes of Match Game on Xbox Live.
No, I saw the picture was
$10,000
Jeopardy.
pyramid.
I get that in the game show channel as it is. I watch Blockbusters and Card Sharks
$10,000
Aces
pyramid
High.
on Xbox Live
and
Arcade.
Tic Tac Toe.
Joker's Wild.
Oh,
We're just gonna start naming off old game shows.
The Match Game. I love the Match Game.
Yeah.
Although that was probably so far ahead of its time. That game was a riot.
It'd be weird that they'd build it in the dashboard and not do it as like an XBLA game or something.
Who knows?
And the fact that it's labeled channel, it makes it
Yeah,
seem
that is
kinda
strange.
odd.
It's almost like they're trying to become their own little cable network.
So anything else here
Well,
that?
I mean, that's the Wii terminology. So.
But any other news that was leaked? Because I have a partial list here, but
Yeah, I like
think
how the
this-
trioxide thing will never, ever happen.
yeah, that was.
Never, ever, ever.
No, trioxide. What?
Well, it'll happen in another decade.
Well, yeah, it'll happen the
Of
same way
its
that
own,
PS2
like,
emulators are just
spontaneous
about.
volition.
So this
Yeah.
is like Bleem all over again.
Well, the PS2 emulators are just about now to the point where you can play 25% of the games that came out for the PS2.
This is assuming you have the system to run it.
It seems to work okay. I mean, at this point, the PS2 hardware wasn't so beefy compared to the machine you're buying off the shelf.
True.
So,
Yeah,
It's
you
just
get that about 10 times performance lead over it, and you can manage to emulate it even when it's hard to figure out. And all
I can
that.
totally believe Marvel Ultimate Alliance too, because that would make sense riding the wave of the movies that have come out lately. That's a good product placement and good timing for
Oh my
it.
God, a sequel to a successful franchise.
But the timing would make absolute sense. It's been a while since the first one came out, and
Yeah.
now the movie studio's gotten a couple movies out.
I'm surprised you don't know Jack was not out for the Wii already. I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like a no-brainer.
Well,
Did they do Buzz Trivia? Isn't that the one they got there first?
I think that's on the. Wasn't that on the PlayStation?
2? There was definitely some there for the PS2.
Racing equity. What is that, like buying stock in a racing company?
I don't know. I just
Well, what is
copied
that
and
about?
pasted the list.
You
from
become a
Kotaku.
sponsor of a major racing company. Huh?
So anyway, that's
Um,
it for the gaming
The
news.
Forza, well,
Hey, I
Well,
before you
say
skip
what-
all the way through all this, the Forza 3 one has been absolutely confirmed. And the fascinating bit of news about that is it's going to be a 2-disc game. Which,
Yeah,
Wow.
I read that, and I'm like, 2-disc racing game, so
There must be some heavy graphics in there. Like,
well,
Well,
there's
it's got like 400
cars and 100 tracks.
sounds like they're trying to compete with some
a lot.
Gran Turismo action, I think.
Well, in my opinion, they already beat Gran Turismo.
Yeah, I think so.
But they might be trying to, come out with something new about the same time. But that's, a fuck ton of content to be jamming
Yeah.
onto the things.
I'm already sold on Grid. I want to buy a copy
and
of
it
it.
takes a 6-character
That's anywhere
code to
near.
unlock everything.
No, it's like Simon's Quest, where it's like a 1,700 code or character.
Oh, you have to
code.
input it manually?
Yes, you have to put it in by hand.
What do you mean fail? Where did I go wrong?
What did I do
Well,
wrong?
that 30-second 0 that you put in there, that should have been an O.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the Call of Duty one, but I played the demo for Battlefield Bad Company yesterday. That's a fun game.
Really?
What's
Yeah.
weird is that's going to be released for free on PC.
For free? That's
Yeah.
weird.
It's
I guess I'm getting that one. I really like that one. I thought it was a pretty fun game. I mean,
Did they pull off the whole world destruction thing with being able to
yeah,
destroy
there's,
any
like,
building and everything?
there's all sorts of stuff blowing up all over the place. It's like that's
It's
pretty
comical too, and it's all like
it's very-
cartoon environments.
Fun. It's very
makes
I
more
mean,
fun.
The action's really good, and there's a lot of. It actually was kind of funny in the demo. I don't know if this would be on the console version, but you can't lock on aim, whatever, when you're doing your first person stuff like you can with like Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You actually have to aim well.
I think this was kind of an opportunity, or it was their version of what came out of the Orange Box, the cartoon like
Team
FPS.
Fortress 2.
Yeah, Team Fortress. It's
Ah.
kind
Well,
of a competition. or answer
It's
to
not.
it.
It's humorous, but it's not very cartoony. It's actually it's
fairly realistic looking
it's-
from the
it is
It's
fairly
just like
realistic,
an
and-
easier engine to design and run on almost. Looking at the pictures of it, it doesn't look super detailed at all.
It is pretty detailed.
Yeah, but it's like in isn't it like in cell shading though, or in
Not
kind
in
of
any
an
of the stuff
oddball
I saw
palette
for
there
it.
was something?
No,
Nope.
totally realistic.
Pretty much, it was pretty comparable to Call of Duty 4.
Okay, weird.
But it's very much versus the commies, which makes it kind of funny too.
Yeah.
Commies are always good for
like
a
Cold
good time.
War war.
Yeah.
Just
I
like
did think
Indiana
it was,
Jones.
Also entertaining, the next Call of Duty they're doing, they're not going to call Call of Duty 5, since they don't want
They want to get away from the World
the
War II
crappy
aspect.
Treyarch one to dilute Call of Duty 4, apparently.
Wow.
They specifically said it was so that they didn't impede the sales for Call of Duty 4 when it released. And they're going back to World War II, of course. So
That's too bad.
yeah.
Call of Duty 4 was pretty cool.
They're supposed to be doing another one.
Ward will do another game and it'll be good.
They're supposed to be doing another one that gets away from World War and does something different with what they originally
Well, how
always
about
wanted to
anything?
do.
Yeah.
Well, that was their whole idea, was they were just doing these World War II ones, these simulators, basically to learn from and experience from and actually do what they really wanted to do, which was something completely different, but still in
They could have
FPS
done that
mode.
before without having to resort to making World War II games.
Yeah, but
In
they
their
got so
defense,
successful.
They made the best World War II games. So
Yeah,
World War II wasn't a game there, buddy.
They got so good at it that they were making sequel after sequel, and people kept buying them.
But the problem was that then everybody started doing World War II
that's-
stuff.
that's
We really
part of
need
the
stuff
problem.
that's not World War II at this point.
I think I don't remember if it was in the article the guy was talking about, the lead designer was talking about, but they really want to get back to what they originally started with, which was a whole different idea, but still in the FPS genre. They just used the World War II games, the Call of Duty games, to get experience and learn how to utilize and how to design and how to get it to where they wanted so that they could actually create something unique.
Okay.
I'll just skip the next one and go to the next one Infinity Ward does.
Yeah. So we're going to go straight to our topics. And our first topic.
Straight to roundaboutly.
Yes. Failed platform franchises. Why did they fail? Why did Arrow the Acrobats fail?
if we're
Bubsy
being totally
failed?
blanket, yeah.
Because they sucked.
Well,
They
yeah,
weren't good.
was Gex good?
Gex was cool. I don't know why. I think it failed just because the 3DO was too damn expensive when it came out. The thing was like $600
Well, they did do
when
a
it
Gex
originally came
for
out.
like the Saturn.
The Saturn ones did pretty well.
Of course, then it was on the Saturn.
The problem with the Saturn was
Also a bad choice. You're moving from the 3DO to the Saturn.
They did
Kind of
2
fun.
or 3 of them. It was either the Saturn or the PlayStation. It had 2 or 3 of them.
PlayStation had Gex 3, but Saturn was not the best system to do a platform
Yeah,
game
well,
on.
But
wasn't your big
Gex
one
is
pickup.
still best on the 3DO, though. It actually looks the best. It plays the best. It's what it was
Yeah,
designed
but
for.
it's still not a good game.
Yeah, but nobody bought the 3DO. So,
It was funny, though. It's too bad. Yeah, the 3DO really was overpriced, and it didn't have enough selection behind it to keep it going. It's the same thing with every failed system. You look at the Jaguar. The Saturn was the exception. I mean, it went longer and better in other countries, but it was designed for certain purposes.
The 3DO had a fairly large amount of games. It just
They weren't that
Yeah,
good,
but
though. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. We're not talking about the failure of the platforms, although
Well, I
putting-
think the failure of the platform in that case was the failure of the franchise because they kept jumping to the platforms that failed.
yeah, the platform games that came out on the Saturn sucked.
There were some
But
really
I don't
weird
think
games
that was
out on the system,
the
too.
huge demise of the Saturn. I mean, I'm sure it didn't help. I'm sure the people who
No, but
still
the
own Clock
demise-
Horse and Knight are playing.
But the demise of the fact that the platform didn't do very well caused the games not to do
Well,
very
true.
Well, it works adversely. Yeah, if your platform's not doing well, do you want to go program a game for it and sell it on
Well,
there?
they did come out with Punky Skunk.
Yeah.
They also came out with Sewer Shark, and I mean, do you really
It's
want to
not
watch
a
a
platform
game that's it's a freaking FMV game with little...
They had Calibri or whatever the hell at 32X. And that didn't help.
Calibri actually was a cool game. That
It was,
probably
but
one
it was
of
on the
unique games.
32X.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell bought the 32X?
It was really a bad choice of where to go with it, but it was a really neat game. It's
It
unfortunate.
was a bad choice of theme, too. I mean, as interesting as the game is,
Hey, arguably the
finest-
best hummingbird shooter available for the 32X.
All right. So let's move on. We're going to talk about rare games discussion because John brought up this topic some months ago and is now available here to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
So what was the whole genesis of this?
I was just, there's some holes in my collection I was trying to fill out, and they were just weird things that were expensive.
Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
There has been a huge run for Tainohara Resort 2, so
I better get my order in now.
So you're trying to find Leisure Suit Larry and the Land of the Lone Lizards, or what's up there?
No, one of the ones that really surprised me was Pikmin 2. This is a game
that is a hard game to find.
and it even got a Player's Choice release. So you would think
That's
there'd be a ton
really
of them floating
odd.
out here. But it's consistently selling for $60, $70 on eBay.
He's
for a
not
new
lying
copy.
there.
Why? And also, by all the reviews, it was a better game than the first one, too. So,
But nobody heard anything about it. It had like almost no publicity when it came out.
Maybe the
what was
marketing
it?
department was very, very smart and made only enough so that they didn't have any overages.
So
exactly.
I'm thinking it was a short print
It
run.
still had to make a second
well, I mean, that's
Player's Choice
that's
run.
the only
And
way
that
they
one
get
was
to be
exactly
rare.
enough
Is
as
it-
well.
Is
was
it
half as much as
games
the
that
first
end up
one.
being popular significantly after they come out?
It's almost like a cult following.
Like, for example, the Leather Goddesses of Phobos. I mean, just try and
There
buy
you
that
go.
game.
Well, if I go to the flea market, I might get lucky.
Ace Combat X on the PSP. That was another one. I mean, it's a big name. It's a successful franchise. It was well reviewed, and it's just gone now. I mean,
It's so weird too. There was a flood of them out there. It seemed
Was
like
that
at
in
one
the-
point, and nobody was buying them, and now they're just disappearing.
Was that one released in the first wave of, the PSP's not doing very well?
You know, it's
no,
kind of in
it
the
came
middle.
out
It was
like I don't know, about 2.5 years after the PSP was out. I mean, it
that's
was
right.
after the point where the PSP had a reasonable game library, where the sales were looking
probably
fine.
towards the
I mean,
end of its run of good games for a while there, because there was probably about a year almost of a spurt where there's very few games that really interested me, and that was one of the last games I remember seeing.
So what other rare games are you looking for? So
another
that
one
Keegan
was a
can hear
surprise.
you and find them for you.
Well, another surprise was Fatal Frame 3.
You can find them; they're just expensive.
Which,
Well, that's true.
Again, another successful franchise.
Fatal Frame 3.
Fatal
3.
Frame? Was that a... okay, I'll give you that.
I mean, they did a third one.
Well,
They got that far.
okay, you can do three. You can do three of a franchise, and it doesn't necessarily have to be successful.
Do I have that one or two?
It only released on the PS2. Subtitle is The Tormented.
I'll have to look.
2 on the Xbox came out as Crimson Butterfly.
No, I have it for a non next gen system.
Well, no, it was for
On
the
the Game
original
Boy
for the
Xbox.
Xbox. I think I'll have to look and see what I have it for. Because I know I have one, but I can't remember which one it is. It's
the
either 2 or 3.
The first two came out both on Xbox and PS2. The third one only came out on PS2. And was apparently a short print run. I guess they got a few more of them out there, but still going for more than expected.
Well, I got a used copy of it, so I don't know which one it is.
We also saw the same thing with the Shin Megami Tensei game when they just re-released that one because the prices were going up for that one.
No, you're talking about Devil Summoner?
The one where they shoot themselves in the head?
That's Persona 3.
Right, thank you.
Persona 3 and Persona 3 Fez.
Right.
With the
Fez?
ancient Arabian hat. Yeah.
Yes, that is actually what it's called.
You know, the PvP Fez hasn't been around in a long time.
Well, that's because Skulls and Neverland. He took the
Well, it's
Fez
been
with
gone
him.
for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Kurtz could do something like get back to his roots there and
Content
do
shrinking.
a little bit of gaming humor.
Because then Gabe and Tycho will
Show
come and
up. I forgot about that. That explains why he doesn't do it anymore. I forgot.
That was pretty funny, though.
Pop culture references for PvP video games for Penny Arcade.
But, so, we're in agreement here that as far as rarity goes, it's short print runs and, supply versus demand type stuff. So
It's also got to be console
it has
choice.
to come out. It has to be popular later on, and it has to actually get reasonably popular. Because otherwise, if there's not something that's making people excited about it and going looking for it, especially when you're just looking at things that are like Xbox and PS2 age, they're just not that old yet.
Bubsy was funny at the time because it was so adult, but they
but
just
this
wore
isn't
off.
a game you're looking
And plus,
for.
the print
No,
runs for
it's-
stuff that was on the PS2 and Xbox were much, much larger than they were for the previous generation and the generation before that.
Maybe that has something
The
to
audience
say
was
about
much bigger, too.
Maybe the print run has a bigger effect on. Maybe you do a smaller print run in the beginning, you just don't take a huge chance, and you see how well it does, and go back. You can.
So you're using what's
And
called
there's also
the
such
Atlas
a
strategy.
huge used game market now too that people, even if there's something that's a short print run, it's going to end up in the secondary.
It's kind of
market.
weird though. The used game market's kind of a dirty word amongst game companies because they
Well,
want you to
because they're
buy
not making
new,
any money
and
off
yeah,
it.
they don't make any money after the fact. But
Woohoo!
your
Right
game
of
goes
first
on.
sale.
Yeah, doctrine of first sale. That really sucks, guys. Anyway, you want to make some new games now?
And it's not like they're not getting that value anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people that are buying the games because they know they can play it, beat it in a week, take it back, and get 80% of their value back out of it.
yeah,
It must be nice.
especially if it's a good RPG.
Yeah, I got to trade in GTA 4.
Something
Just
like
not
you
playing
sit
it
on
anymore.
like Valkyrie profile.
Might as well trade it in while it's still worth something.
Yeah.
Give me a Battlefield or something.
Yeah. So, other than those games, I mean, since you have kind of a captive audience, maybe you should list off the stuff you're looking for.
Well, captive audience is 1.
No, we have more than one.
Well, what, like 2?
We have more
I have
than
a few
2.
things I'm looking for. I just can't.
Dude,
think of
is
them
it
off
in
the top of
double
my head.
digits?
Yes.
That was a very qualified looking yes.
Well, I had to think
If
about
you
it for a
count
second.
the 4 of us, is it is it double digits?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I think right now the only rare game on my list that I haven't managed to find a copy of, and I mean when I say rare for any of these, it's not so much like they're impossible to find. It's just can you really justify paying $80 for a game that originally
Yeah.
released for 40?
I still want a copy of Battle Garega. I just don't want to drop $80 on it. It's like,
You're not going to get it any cheaper than that.
that's
You
actually
realize
the
that.
cheapest it's
That-
running right now. I've seen as high as 120.
That's a lot of hamburgers.
It's really one of the best shmups on the Saturn, though. It just is so detailed.
The one that I flat out haven't been able to find is a PC adventure game called The Neverhood.
I've heard of it.
I've gotten to play it as I had a stolen copy, back there. Enjoyed it. Claymation, beautiful game, but
TPB
can't
doesn't
find
have
the
it?
damn thing.
Nothing on TPB?
I could probably find a pirate copy if I wanted to. But like I said, I've played the game.
There's always a pirate copy.
It's like I'd actually like to find a physical copy of that one because it was pretty nifty.
Who was the developer of that game?
I don't
I
think...
don't remember, although, I mean,
I remember the game, and
They
I remember
did,
seeing it very little, and I think the print run was not very large for it.
they did a PlayStation game called Skull Monkeys, which I have very rarely seen, but was
PLA.
definitely in the same
Is
genre.
this the same people who did, was it Heart of Darkness?
I don't think so. I
'Cause that's
think
in
the
those
Heart
realm
of
of those
Darkness
types of
people.
games.
Yeah, I think they were the ones who did Fade to Black, and it was Delphine Software. I think did Heart of Darkness. I'm not positive, but I think it was.
Well, if anyone out there finds this game floating around somewhere,
Faded
Let us
Black
know.
was Faded Black the one that was the sequel to Out of This World?
Yeah.
Flashback.
Flashback was the one that was the
Yeah,
sequel to Out of This
yeah.
World.
Did you see the new Out of This World? It actually looks pretty cool for the
They
Wii.
did a nice job. Oh, not for the Wii.
Oh man, it really utilizes the Wii controller well.
what?
I was kind of surprised.
Oh, yeah. Out of This World? You mean Alone in the Dark?
No, sorry, Alone in the Dark. My bad. Yeah.
Okay, yes, completely
No,
different
but-
game for which I'm now much less excited.
Well, point being, it's still I wasn't that excited about the game originally when I saw it on the prior platforms, but it looks really good on the Wii, and it utilizes things really well. It makes you actually do all these physical motions.
No,
You
are the
can actually do
graphics
it again.
better?
I would think so. Yeah, even for the Wii,
I would hope so.
I would say yeah.
Okay.
Are they doing a remake of Out of This World?
The original developer for it
Yeah.
actually released an updated version where he repainted all the backgrounds for it, and it's all in high resolution.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But you can download
Poor
it.
guy lives alone, has nothing else to do.
Apparently.
I really need to revise this.
It is one of the 10 best games ever made. So it was
The
worth doing.
opinions of John do not
not-
necessarily reflect the
I don't know if
views
it's one of the 10 best
everyone
games ever
else
made,
here.
but it's a really good game.
It's definitely a rare game.
I can't think of any other game that was as cinematic as that one was.
At the time.
Certainly at the time. But even past that, I mean, if you go back and play that, and I mean how it manages to tell that much of a story with zero dialogue.
Yeah.
There isn't a word of dialogue in the entire game, and yet it's still got distinctive characters and an actual plot happening.
Huh.
Yeah.
And the game is really hard.
It was a difficult game.
It was a lot of trial and error.
Yes.
But at least
A
it
lot
didn't
of
restart you too
Dying
far
and
back.
learning, I mean.
On the other hand, now that I've played the game so many times, it takes about a half hour.
Trial and error and platforming was the order of the day at the time, though. It was,
It's true.
it sat there at the Software Etc. right next to the Dark Tower.
Oh God, yeah.
thing. So you could watch the guy go, whoop!
Man, I remember going to Software, etc. back when I was in high school to get tips out of I was playing the latest Leisure Suit Larry game, and I had to get tips on how to figure out what I was doing
Now,
wrong.
Dark Tower, are you talking about the board game?
No, the Mac game. The Mac platformer.
Not the OMG More Spriggans.
No.
Okay.
No, the Mac platformer. That was iconic of Software Etc. demos for many years.
Well,
along with F-18 Raptor on the Amiga 500.
Man, oh man.
Yeah. See, you know what I'm talking about. And
Yeah.
then they
No,
always,
I know what
and they
exactly
never
what
had
you're talking about.
they never had the PC on. It was always there was a PC, a Mac, and an Amiga, and the Mac had Dark Tower, and the Amiga had FA-18 Raptor, and the or
PC was
F-117 Stealth Fighter. It was sometimes an F-117 Stealth Fighter, and the PC was never turned on,
Yeah.
which is so ironic because which one ended up being the majority gaming machine?
Mhm.
But you know,
The Mac. No, wait.
wait. Yeah, if you like WoW, it's perfect.
If you like
And
Marathon.
really, once you're playing WoW, what other games do you need?
Yeah, you don't have time to play any other games.
All right.
It
So
reminds me of Can't Have Cheeseburger. They had a picture of two black cats looking over a computer chair, and in the background you see the BSOD, and said, "Seriously, is BSOD your college thesis?"
you like the cats, don't you?
Yeah, that was a funny joke. I don't know.
Okay.
Apparently only
So-
funny to me.
So next up.
we give our damn opinion on lengthy cutscenes. I think we did that in number 2 up there.
Oh, lengthy cutscenes.
You
and
want some more?
Game rarity.
Want some more?
You want more?
Well, you.
Yeah, I mean, hasn't there been a game for you guys that you went looking for? And was
No,
just,
at number 2 in the
surprised
gaming
that it was
news.
expensive. There's why in the world are people paying much?
Well,
some
there's
money
games
for
I've
this?
gone for I knew were expensive, but I was surprised at how expensive they've gotten since the last time I looked for them, and they just keep growing and growing. It's like, man, I
Radiant Silver Gun.
still kick myself in the ass mentally for that one, because you could have sold me that for $20
And I
wouldn't
told
buy
you
it.
about it.
No.
I told you. God, I
I
have got this game. It's like
Little did I know, 10 years
I
later it would cost me
offered you-
$150
I offered you
shipped
the,
from fucking England.
I offered you the employee discount. It's like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah,
no.
I know. That's probably the worst gaming choice ever, but or gaming decision ever. But
Gaming investment anyway.
Oh, God,
Actually, if
man.
you bought it then and then you bought it now for like $100, I mean, if you adjust for inflation, you probably paid about the same price.
That's,
I don't
inflation
think
hasn't been
so.
that
$20?
high.
Oh God.
I don't think inflation costs as energy cost, or I don't think Radiant Silver costs as energy costs or food.
Okay.
So Probably not.
Okay.
It's probably that Radiant Servo Gun falls into the core inflation area.
Okay. Well, there's a couple games that I'm surprised that have gone very, very high.
Man, like Valkyrie Profile, like I was saying, I've seen that
Yeah,
sell on
that
eBay
game's
for
going for like
$150.
$100, 150.
Which is ridiculous since they re-released it.
For some reason, people still want the original PlayStation version.
Yeah,
They
but
want
they
the original
re-released
PlayStation. I don't get it either. It's weird that it retains its value.
well,
but
yeah,
I think
but-
it's because it's on a major console first, and then was on a portable afterwards.
Well,
I don't know why.
that's the same thing that happened when
I don't think the game
when
is
Rondo of
collectible.
Blood
It's
came
the-
out here in this
it's
country
the
under
packaging
the
is collectible, apparently. Because that's the only thing
Dracula
that's
X Chronicles. It's
It
like
did have
there's
a
still
bigger
high demand
booklet
for the Turbo Duo
and
version.
it's a second
Weird.
disc, and it's one of the bigger releases. It came in that double CD, the double open CD.
Well, as I say, I think that the packaging is actually the collectible part, not actually the game.
Well, as long as it's sealed, right?
Well,
God, sealed. I've seen those things hit over 200. Ridiculous.
it's just some guy who buys one copy
You
of
know
it
what
and
it is?
stores in his basement.
No, it's people that are just now getting into RPGs, and they hear that's one of the better games, so they go out looking for it. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to pay for it.
Here's
and
your
they pay
sealed
for it.
version of Chrono Trigger for $600.
Oh yeah, God, Chrono Trigger, motherfucker! Have you seen? That's ridiculous. And God forbid you have the guy do it. Oh, jeez.
Well, here's and
That's
the
worth another
ironic thing,
100.
the whole time I worked at EB, I didn't sell one copy of Chrono Trigger.
Wow.
Not one.
Well, no, it wasn't going to be famous for another 3 years when it went up like $400.
I mean, it sat there on the shelf forever. And like,
Now,
I've seen the Super NES cart sell bare with nothing on it by itself, guaranteed for like $100. I'm like, what? You can
ridiculous.
emulate that, man. Come on.
it's like somebody, trying to sell you a Fallen Empires booster pack for $20.
yeah, Earthbound is the same way. That
Well,
game's-
Earthbound was pretty rare. They didn't do a huge print run on
yeah,
that,
but it's
so that
still
was
like
understandable.
it's still like $100.
I didn't sell any of those either. I'd like to mention.
Earthbound was a
what
weird
type of
game.
customers did you have?
I don't
coming
know.
to
They
your
weren't
store?
buying those games.
What were they buying?
The wrong
Not
games.
that.
Shaq
Ones that
Fu.
were worth like
They're-
$2
they're-
and $5 later.
They were.
Dude, Shaq Fu is rare.
It is. Shaq Fu probably is rare.
Rarest
No,
trash
it's
game I've
totally
ever
in the
seen.
bargain bin up at Boulder. So
I think the game's still going for like $10, $15 still.
and Boulder has it marked cheap.
Yeah, they know.
Well,
when
yeah,
to
but
cut
they
their
also
losses
have like
and run.
20 copies of it. It's along with that and Target Earth.
Boulder has 20 copies of everything, man. The storage that guy has, unbelievable.
By the way, if you're near a video game store that sells used games and they don't have a copy of Target Earth for the Genesis, it's not a true used game store because
Well, there's like
every used game store
Or
I've
they
ever
cut
been
out
into.
the platforms that people don't buy.
it's like
shit
Keith
anymore.
Courage on the TurboGrafx.
Yeah. Or Bonk.
There's like one for every system,
Bonk.
guaranteed. No, Bonk was cool, man.
Yeah,
Bonk
but
was-
there's always a copy of Bonk
Oh
anywhere.
yeah, well that was a pack-in at one point, I believe. So.
Yeah.
It was
Probably.
when the CD came out. It was
Yeah.
Bonk 2.
Bonk 2 and Bonk's Adventure 3.
No, it's Gate of Thunder.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So, anyway.
It's amazing how much some of those things are selling for too. Like the portable TG16 with the TV tuner right now still goes for like
The Turbo
$150.
Express. Ugh.
Yeah, that thing alone's worth it's funny, that thing will sell $50 to $100. The TV tuner sells for more than it does though.
And it'll sell for nothing in about a year.
Well, yeah, kind of sad. Maybe that's why people are raising their prices right now. They're trying to squeeze as much out as they can.
But,
The hardware I find easier to believe though, because that shit breaks.
That's true.
well, and there was a short print on the TV tuners. There weren't that many of them made, so. I saw a guy selling one with a gator clip on it.
I've seen the reverse of this too.
For like $50.
I've seen the reverse of this too, where games are really, really expensive and now they're dirt cheap.
Yeah, some have taken a real dive.
Like, what have you seen, Tank?
Virtual Racing for the Genesis. That game, when it first came out, was $100 retail. I swear to God, it
Does
was
that have like one of those
$99.99.
special chips in it?
No,
that
it
does
had a
that?
special polygon chip, kind of like the Super FX chip for the Genesis.
I think that's a version. That's a reason behind graphics.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it
now
looks
the game
so
is like
shitty. It's
$10.
just- There's no reason to play something like that when you can go play Gran Turismo.
So it looked really good at the time. Was like state of the
That
art.
was cutting edge. Yeah, it had a
And
new
now-
chip in it. Oh, I gotta buy this. It's sweet, and it's got a new chip. No other game has this chip, and it was cool for about a year, and then
Yeah.
kind of sad but true. I mean, that's one of those reverse. Yeah, that's just graphics alone. I think though. I don't think
You
there's any
can't-
other reason behind that.
You can't base value on graphics anything.
Well, you can for about the first 6 months.
Yeah.
It's just like computer hardware.
For enough
Then it takes
time
some
for it to actually go on clearance.
It's only worth
Unless
as
your
much
name
as
is
we can
NVIDIA.
Steal for it.
Well, fuck, NVIDIA puts out a new video card every 6 months.
That's corporate plan.
Yeah.
No, it's every 9 months because ATI has to squeeze in between
sorry.
the frame rate. That's why I'm waiting until July for the new ATI cards because I didn't like the.
Well, have you seen the thing for the new NVIDIA cards?
The 8800 GTX?
No.
The GTX 200.
Yeah, the GTX that are basically, they
Is that the one with the 750 RAM chip?
They basically spank the 9800 GT2s. I mean, it just bends them over a chair and just hits them with a paddle.
And then they come standard with a gig of RAM, I think it is.
Yeah, well, it's up to a gig.
You know what NVIDIA should do? Like, make a numbering system that makes sense.
What's weird is they're swapping right now. NVIDIA's actually going to 3 digits instead of the 4 they had, and ATI is going to...
But like
or vice versa, they're going to the 4 digits, and ATI is going to the 3 digits, and it makes no sense.
I'll just
the
hope for
engineering
NVIDIA
sample.
good, better, best.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had cheapo,
Yeah,
medium
yeah,
priced,
guys,
and he got $600.
It's like, cheap wad, you're kind of sane, and hey, you got extra money? But yeah, the engineering sample,
stimulus version.
Yeah, stimulus version. the engineering sample with pre-release drivers is 23% faster than the 9800 GT2s.
They're making huge jumps
it's
right
like-
now. It's ridiculous.
It's like, well, okay, well, I guess
But they're charging for it too, though.
Yeah, I think their
they are,
target
but-
price on the top of the line new one is $695, so it's
Yeah.
even over the stimulus.
yeah.
Stimulus and then some.
Yeah, better save some of your paycheck there, buddy.
Yeah.
My
All right.
God.
Well, we
Well,
were
that's the
going to
enthusiast
talk
version,
about
obviously, whatever.
lengthy cutscenes,
Yeah.
but I guess we've
But
already
you need a pair
spoken
of
about
them,
that.
really.
So.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered that.
Yeah.
You got to run them SLI, so
So we're going to go straight into our game reviews, and I'm going to spend
That's
1
the
minute
biggest rip-off ever,
with
SLI.
with Ninja Gaiden 2, and my damn opinion on it is real simple. It's got a lot of
Weren't you doing GTA 4?
well.
The GTA 4.
I was doing GTA 4, and I was playing it over at Gimme Anime on
Right,
John's,
that was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, on John's Xbox, but he forgot to take it out of his Xbox, and so he's had the game
Lovely.
for like 2 weeks. But
And you
now,
have the cover.
no, he's got everything. So he's going to give it
Alright,
back. He's going to give it
whatever.
back to me in about a week.
So then the feature will actually start.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of started already. I haven't had a lot of time to play it.
So your verdict on Ninja Gaiden 2 is probably really freaking hard, right?
No, actually, it's not that hard.
Oh.
It's got a lot of style. It's got a lot of style, but not a lot of substance, and that's the biggest
Weird.
problem I have. Well, here's the thing: they work real hard to try and make it look cool, but it doesn't help any of the gameplay at all. It's
Yeah.
like, well, here's this really cool camera angle where you can see this guy like get split in half, but it doesn't make the game easy to play because then the camera
see.
angle's all weird, and you're like,
They
Yeah.
took the
Way
camera angle
worse.
thing from Assassin's Creed.
well.
Is it
No,
like
I-
you do a
it's worse
combo
than
and it
that.
like moves and then like it moves behind a
Well,
bush?
yeah,
just so they
no,
can't get
and then it
killed?
gets stuck behind a pole.
Yeah.
And
That doesn't happen very often in Assassin's Creed, but every once in a while you
No,
get like
it's
this.
actually a pretty good camera
I'm
system.
looking at the back of a tree or something all of a
It's
sudden.
only
and-
when you're like on a hill or near a rock or something, and
Yeah.
it kind of shifts
You're in
near
an
it
alley
or runs
or
Yeah.
into it.
something, too.
Yeah.
But the thing is that that's the one biggest fault with the game is, and when I died against a boss, it wasn't because of skill, it's because I couldn't see what the fuck I was doing. That's the problem.
yeah.
It's like, okay, well, where am I?
You would think the camera angle
always camera
positioning is a
angles.
solved problem.
Well,
know.
except 3 out of 4 games fuck it up.
I know.
So how
It's
solved
like
could it be?
how can this not be a solved problem? It
I mean-
isn't a new technique, guys.
Yeah, it's like it was
Yeah.
mastered in Super Mario 64. You'd
Yeah.
think they would have gotten it right by now.
Yeah. Just have the camera treated as a solid object. If it bumps into a wall, don't move through it. How hard is that?
You're a developer now.
Yeah, apparently.
So the game is like, it's like 49.
It isn't 60? That'd be weird if it
49 or
was.
59.
It was on sale, I think, this week for $49.
Yeah, they usually put it on sale for like the first week.
I really
and then
want it. I just can't
No,
justify the
I would
price.
wait.
I was
I
at
would
the Game
wait.
Force Boulder, and I was like, I really want that.
I would
but
wait on
no.
it.
I
I would
never
wait
beat
on
the
it.
first one, so I don't really feel a
I
lot
haven't
of
either, but
compulsion.
This seems to be a
Yeah,
common
second one.
occurrence.
No, I
The first one was really hard, man. I got halfway through it, but it's a hard game.
Yeah,
It progressively gets harder.
I beat
too.
the NES ones, the first Ninja Gaiden on the Xbox. I got halfway through it, and I'm like, oh, fuck this.
I actually stopped that one because I went and bought the black version.
Yeah, so did I. I have
So
Ninja
I got to
Gaiden
really
Black.
go back and start it all over again, unfortunately. But
I was just reading the fifth Penny Arcade book came out this week or last week. They had the Ninja Gaiden one in there where he's like, all right, you guys go in there. It's like, those guys, I had no faith in you guys. You're different.
Yeah. I remember that one.
That's strange that the books come out and they haven't mentioned anything on it on the Penny Arcade site.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering last week, like, where the fuck is that book? Because it was supposed to be out in April.
The reverse viral thing about, like, don't buy our game, it's bad, and
No, that was just some troll on
That was so funny. That was what a beautiful campaign.
No, but they didn't mention anything about that frickin' book.
Yeah, I didn't
Maybe
see it coming
they're too busy
either. It was
pushing
weird.
Rain Slick, and they don't want to seem too whorish.
Yeah, they don't want to take away from the game.
Well, the thing is, in the fifth one's when they're just starting to break out and be really popular. So a lot of stuff changes, and like the art gets a lot better because Gabe has a lot of time to devote to the art, and they have all this.
Well, they're making money now.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they've got what's his name's been on for a year now. Their business manager's been on for a year at that point.
Or Koo.
Well,
Robert Koo.
and Keegan is no.
Yeah, but so they
he might be.
They included in the back of it. They included two actually cool things. In the back, it's got the Last Christmas Ever, the Cthulhu Christmas tale that they did, but it's done in full page thing. So it's like a little
cool.
kid's
You actually
book.
get the whole book.
Yeah, and then they also they took pictures of. When they go to conventions, they get their tables. They have the paper that goes on that they doodle on, and people doodle on stuff.
Yeah,
and they took pictures. They've been taking
Nice.
pictures of those, and they included all those in the back.
Bonus
of the book,
features.
too. Yeah.
So I'll need to pick up this book like tomorrow.
Well, if you'd been there at Gimme on Saturday instead of slicing yourself open, you could have bought one.
Oh, what's
They
it
all
called,
sold
by the
out.
way?
It's the Curse of the Mummy's Gold or something like that. Yeah, the Curse or the Case of the Mummy's Gold.
It's not going to be a hard book to find. It's brand new. You'll probably find it around town.
Well, I'm sure.
I can't remember it's Case or Curse
Imagine it could
because
be order.
in the intro, Will Wheaton does the big intro,
Yeah.
but the second intro, the little intro that Tycho does, he can't remember if it's Curse or Case either. He's like, and the Curse of the Mummy's Gold. Or is it Case? Wait, let me look. Yeah, it's Case.
Shows what I
Wow,
remember.
that's bad. All right. So, do we have any other reviews?
Did just beat Puzzle Quest.
Well, it has been a year.
It took a while.
Well, he's talking about the one on Xbox Live.
Yeah, same game though.
DS or PSP, yeah.
So, do you have a 1-minute review on it, or
Sure.
okay?
It took a long time.
It takes a long time. By the time you get going in the game, like a lot of RPGs, it's totally possible to skew the difficulty level to the point where it just isn't challenging anymore. Just kind of disappointing.
And somewhat repetitive.
Yeah, you get to see a lot of things for it. But it's all made up for the fact that Drawing is one of the best video game characters ever, even though he's completely a one-note character. But he ends the game very well.
Okay.
I think it was less than a minute.
Yeah, but was it worth the money?
What'd you pay to download it?
It's like $1,600, isn't it?
I think it's
$20
$20 for that one. Yeah.
Same as
1,600
Arcade.
points.
Definitely got playtime worth out of it.
Oh, I
And that
bet.
was like
The puzzle, I just love the puzzle aspect. I played my DS version for probably like 30 hours. I still haven't beat the game, but it's the puzzle time. The puzzle's always fun. Yeah, I never get tired of it.
they did manage to put in a surprising variety of different twists on the same Bejeweled theme. Some of the capture puzzles were really quite a bit of fun, and were nifty to try. And
Yeah,
work
those
our way
are
through.
challenge you, and you know, coming back again and again to beat them because sometimes you don't do it the first time.
The Harpy, that was the one we sat and stared at for
Yeah.
ages. It was tough.
So, any review from you, Steve, or have you played anything this century?
I played a lot of demos. I downloaded the theme pack for Penny Arcade for Xbox Live.
Just
And
for
that
the
was,
dashboard bit, or
Yeah, the dashboard bit. It's pretty cool. I paid $2 for it, so nice.
Brian's trying to get me to go on to Kotaku, but I have absolutely no bandwidth whatsoever.
There's they just put the article on today about an MMO RTS. It's weird. It's kind of
Saga.
It's Battle Lore or Battlegrounds or something like that.
Because I know there's
say.
like that one that's out there that they went to a free trial because nobody was playing it.
Exactly, and it actually did pretty well. I mean, it was kind of interesting, but it looks kind of cool because it's kind of a mixture of the MMO and an RTS together. It's more what I wish Warcraft would have been like in its concept. I mean, it made more sense to me to be a larger grouping RTS kind of thing instead of just individual heroes. But it looks interesting. It's totally free right now to download and try. And they just finished their pre-trial trials, so people that played in that actually get a little bonus benefit if they start on the regular trial and go through it.
Okay.
So you still playing Age of Conan, Steve?
I was just playing it a little bit last night. I haven't gotten really far in it.
Find any nude chicks to rescue.
Doesn't that happen like the first half hour?
Yeah, like the first minute or two.
Well, you gotta grab them and keep them, and then they keep playing.
Yeah. Well, I think it's really funny that actually it's kind of funny if you play a female character. It's like there's the shall we say sexual content of the game is
real God of War like.
It's adjustable for the gender of your character.
So like DOA like, where you can adjust the breast.
No. It's like
that's a different slider.
It's a different slider. No, they. Yeah, I found this out because I wondered about this because I knew that there was a character that's kind of like she's a barmaid by day, but she's like the leader of the resistance by night.
Sucker the blue.
And so you go up to her and she's like talking about the stuff. And if you play a female character, there's new options to ask her things about. And she's like, "Are you entertained only by men?" She's like, "I'm entertained by blah 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 blah." And you're like, "All right,
let's get it on."
So gender-specific dialogue trees to make sure everybody gets in on the action.
Yeah.
That's
and the combat's still pretty cool. Sorlak's way further in the game than I am. He's got like a level 50 guy.
Sort of like your brother.
Yeah, he's way up there and plays on a regular basis. The thing hasn't totally fallen apart yet.
Does he still live at home?
Yeah,
and nothing else to do.
No job.
Yeah. That explains it.
I'm pretty envious.
Yeah. I miss home.
I mean, he just gets to play, MMOs all day. So, I mean, what the hell's wrong with that? I wish I could do that.
He's our core audience.
Yeah, I know. Shit. I mean, I'd pay for that. Wait.
Yeah.
Pay for the opportunity not to pay. For
yeah. Wait a minute.
I'm sure there's a fetish thing out there for that somewhere.
I'm still waiting for Warhammer to come
Gigolo
out.
plays MMORPGs.
Yeah, I don't think there's like a whole kept man thing where you just play video games.
Maybe not in this country.
No.
Somewhere in Japan or Korea.
China
they'll
pay it if let's play them, but they'll also shoot in the head if you don't get enough gold in enough time. So
farm you, mother.
100 gold, 12 hours, go.
Yeah.
You dig now. Okay.
So yeah, I don't. Actually, I'm waiting for Warhammer to come out, and I'm waiting for.
Warhammer looks cool.
I'm hoping someday Jumpgate Evolution comes out.
Yeah. Well, someday.
Yeah. That'd be
nice.
interesting.
When we're old and.
Is it Net Devil that's doing that too?
No, same people that did the old one. The old one's still up.
Net Devil.
I think I had an online player count of like 300 last time.
Yeah, I was going to say it dropped pretty
Wow, that's
fast.
awesome.
We're not talking Anarchy Online here.
Is it really cost efficient at that point?
They probably only need one server at that
They
point.
don't really have it. I mean, it's a pretty low-tech game at this
Is it?
point.
Okay.
You really don't need to spend a lot of time.
Got nothing on Eve is what you're saying?
No, you don't need a giant cluster of RAM disks.
Speaking of, didn't Eve just have a big
They did.
release?
They actually had kind of
That
interesting.
sounds kind of interesting.
We'll have to ask Sorlak about it because they introduced NPC factional warfare.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was reading too that they
should have
actually
been there from the beginning. So
plotline wise, it didn't really happen.
Well, it kind of makes sense because one of the things I read was they actually gave sections of space to factions, existing factions that are out there, core corporations. So that kind of had to build. Yeah, that kind of had to build up to now, and now it makes sense to give them that space and then make it so that you fight for that space.
The plot line basically, it's from the start had been uneasy peace, and now it's no longer. It's a shooting war now. So there's actually been Titans that have shown up in Empire space and stuff like that from factions. And stuff
I want to see one of these in action. I just the
you see one in
concept of the
action.
mass of it.
You can see it, and then you die immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's just,
if you see one, I mean, chances are the guy piloting it isn't too good of a shot with the Doomsday weapon, kills everybody. Apparently, if one of those Titans explodes near a space station, it takes down the shields of the space station.
that's it.
Which I guess makes sense.
Shields are pretty big on the space station.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, it generally takes hours of a 100-person fleet to take them down.
So. It takes battleships and whatever.
Doesn't it take something like 6 months to build one of those things, too?
It takes a while. Not like
It's
6.
like
You mean the Armageddons? Or
Titans.
The Titans? Yeah.
It's probably getting faster now.
Not to mention getting the blueprints for one.
Well, you need to have the skills and the blueprints and the resources, but
It takes pretty much an empire to have that kind of back.
They have been making them. It took about 3 months or I think 4 months for the first one to get made, but now the major factions have made at least 2 of them. The problem is that they're not very good at keeping track of them, because they don't log out when you log out. They sit in space all the time. Anything bigger than a battleship doesn't log out when you log out.
So you have to have some sort of protection all the time to guarantee us.
If you're gonna, you have to make sure that people are guarding it at all times. Otherwise, somebody's just gonna come in and blow the crap out of it.
Yeah, but nobody wants that thing floating around.
So, but most of the major alliances have people in all different time zones, and so they just have people doing shifts.
All right.
Sometimes the shifts don't work too well, and you're like, well, somebody lost another Titan. How was that? Well, they flew it and they blew it up.
All right. Okay, well, I think that's it for Die Hard Gamer Radio. Our next podcast...
You don't like our Eve conversation? You're really trying to shove us out at the end of this podcast.
Well, I'm trying to keep it like around an hour.
Uh-huh.
Because people say we run too long.
Well, maybe you could cut out...
People?
Who are these people? And why don't you just cut out the first 15 minutes that we did this tonight before
why are you harshing our squee?
Yeah, don't harsh our squee.
Don't say
Nix.
So,
Dude, it was a perfectly good rug. It totally brought together the whole...
What?
I don't know.
All right.
It's a big
All right.
Lebowski
So
reference,
next
I
podcast is our 50th podcast. We may or may not have something special, but I don't know yet.
No, we should hold off until we have our 50th listener.
Yeah. Should hold
3 years later.
Should hold off until we have our 15th listener.
I'll find 15
How are you
people
confirming these 15 listeners? I've been looking at the statistics of downloads of the actual podcast, and there's no way there's more than a couple people downloading it every week.
Mom doesn't count, and you can't log on other computers. Come on, man.
There's 15 in my heart.
Because,
There are 5 really
the podcast
big people.
is a certain size, and so I just divide the usage for that week by whatever the size is, and I get 6.
Roger does not count as 5.
Well, there's me. Oh wait, I don't have to download it. I just
Unless people are pirating our podcast.
I hope so.
What's the point of that?
I don't know. Well, it's easier to download than from the website.
What?
I don't buy
know.
that.
I don't
No.
know. Maybe it's sitting on eMule somewhere.
Someone's torrenting our podcast.
Only if we started seeding it.
There's an idea. All right. Well,
Yeah, start seeding it on Diehard Gamer Radio on the Pirate Bay.
yeah.
Just leave your machine on all the time.
We want you to pirate us. Please, get the word out.
Yeah. Pirate this free.
We're underground, baby.
Oh, yeah, hardcore.
Wiki.
To your mother. And something.
No. Fail. All right. Well, that's it for Die Hard Gamer Radio.
Thank you for listening to Die Hard Gamer Radio. You can visit our website at diehardgamerradio.com and iTunes, or you can email us at diehardgamerradio@gmail.com.